everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Ashley and I got the chance to attend and volunteer at the very first PatternCon. The ultimate pattern making convention for anyone who loves pattern making, fitting, and connecting with the sewing community. PatternCon 2025 took place in Charlotte, North Carolina this year, and I traveled all the way from Toronto to be there. It was such a special experience that I have to share it with you, especially since tickets for PatternCon 2026 go on sale really soon. I'll walk you through what the event was like, my favorite parts, and what I think you should know if you plan on going next year. But first, let's start at the beginning, my travel day. So I actually drove from Toronto to Buffalo to catch my flight because it was just more economical to travel or take a flight within the States. So that's what I did. The drive to Buffalo for me is like an hour and a half to 2 hours, so it was really nothing. I booked my stay with the hotel that PatternCon was being held in because they had a special rate for PatternCon attendees, and also it was just the most convenient thing to do. Like, you go up from your room downstairs to PatternCon and you're there. Like, you don't have to worry about getting a ride to the event or running late or whatever. You're just upstairs to downstairs and that's it. And it was really easy. All I had to do when I landed was call the number that we were provided, and a shuttle came to pick me up and dropped me off directly to the hotel. So this is my first ever vlog type of video that I've ever made. You know, grabbing the camera to film what I'm doing or speaking to the camera does not come second nature to me. So I was trying to be very mindful to get proper footage for this video. You'll see here, like, I filmed probably every single shuttle that was heading my way until mine actually finally arrived, but I got the shot. That's all that matters. Now, mind you, PatternCon will be held in a different state and venue for 2026, but I'll say the hotel that the event was at this year was really nice. You know, it was big, clean, it was beautiful. They even had a swimming pool, which I wish I read beforehand because I would have came with a bathing suit because it was hot as heck in North Carolina that weekend. It was conveniently close to the airport. You know, they were very mindful to make sure that it was easy for all attendees to coordinate arrivals. I arrived a day early so I could explore Charlotte a little bit before the big weekend. I did some research on what's around and made myself a little itinerary. My first stop was the Optimist Food Hall. It's a super trendy spot with tons of food options and what seemed to be local vendors. I decided to have empanadas there and they were tasty. Then I wandered into a few nearby shops. There was a stationery / gift store, another store with really unique artisanal gifts, and there was also a plant shop. As much as I wanted to bring a plant home, I know better. I do not have a green thumb, let's just say that. Okay, so that was really fun to explore. There were a lot of food options and I really enjoyed my empanadas, but I can't eat everything. So I'm gonna go head over to Noda now, which is supposed to be like an artistic art district. So I'm excited to go see that and all the little shops there. So let's go. Okay, so I'm about to attempt to take a bus in Charlotte for the first time. Wish me luck. I had no clue where I was going at first. Eventually, I found my way and it was fun walking around and exploring. Okay, I think I figured it out. I think I'm walking in the right direction now. I saw a couple of what do they call it, vintage clothing shops and stuff like that, and I see a lot more shops now. So back on track. Noda is full of color, artsy, vintage stores, and just that cool creative energy. I found myself comparing it to like certain areas in Toronto. Like, this reminded me of a smaller version of Kensington Market, but at the same time, like, I wasn't sure that I actually saw the whole thing. It was hard to tell like where it bordered off, but from what I did see, like I said, it was very colorful, very artsy. Like, all the little shops were very boutique-y with like a bunch of knickknacks and cute like gifting ideas, which I love. All right, so I did a little bit of exploring here around Noda. I think I did the whole thing. I can't tell. There was just like a few shops, artsy shops, a lot of vintage, thrifting type shops. I didn't get anything, but I'm thirsty as hell and I think I'm ready to go back to the hotel. So I'm gonna go head back, unpack, put my bags away and all that kind of thing.
and then we'll see what's next.
After exploring Noda, I was waiting for my bus to head back to the hotel, and I made a friend.
You saw the friend, hey friend, yeah, her outfit, look, her outfit jamming, girl.
She's just like,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
this is the
You have a good day.
You
Hey, it's
too.
hard weekend. I don't know what it means to you, but I gotta get back to work. I'm gonna use my.
this
Oh,
outfit's
Jesus.
getting a lot of attention, eh?
It really is, I guess.
You were gonna tell him that you're from Canada.
You'll find out. This ain't going anywhere. Find out. Where's my bus? That's what
uh,
I want to know.
was that what
322.
you're waiting for?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the bus. I'm at the bus stop.
I knew I wasn't in Toronto anymore, that's for sure. The guys here are a bit different than they are in Toronto. A lot more confident, let's just say that. That night, all the volunteers, including me, met up to put together the goodie bags for PatternCon attendees, and we were all excited. We were all meeting in person for the first time, and we got our volunteer shirts. So after the volunteer meeting, a whole bunch of us went over to the hotel restaurant, and there we got to sit, eat dinner, connect a little bit more, and get to know each other a little bit better. You know, we were talking about things like Love is Blind, guilty pleasure. You know, you end up making connections that you weren't expecting but are so amazing. Like, shout out to my girl Tanisha Finney. She's a real one. You know, Maya, Ashila, Shalva. I met so many lovely ladies, and I can't wait to see them all next year. So just a little side note, Trisha Camacho is the mastermind behind PatternCon. This is her baby. She's been dreaming it up for years, and she's had some friends help her bring it to life. So you're gonna hear me mentioning Caitlin or Alyssa. These are the people who are coordinating the event and just helping it come to life. All right, so I'm starting to get ready for PatternCon. It's like 7 a.m. So I have like an hour. And I forgot to grab the camera because this is not come second nature to me to be filming a vlog, but here we are. So I'm curling my hair right now, and it usually takes me a long time, but that's the look I'm going for with the first make that I have. I should have woke up earlier. I sewed one of the Know Me patterns by Brittany J. Jones, and I really like this pattern. So I'm excited to wear that today. And my fabric is sponsored by Jaggi Textiles. So shout out to Jaggi Textile. It's very comfortable for the day, moving around and everything. So should be good. Okay, I'm heading out of the room now. I gotta run. I'll have to show the fit check during the event. Morning. Good morning. You guys put all your stuff there? Okay. Morning. We had a quick huddle before opening the doors to the event to break down the tasks, the itinerary, and the after PatternCon schedule. I was on lanyard duty, which basically meant I got to welcome everyone as they arrived, which came second nature, having been in customer service in my lifetime. Seeing all the attendees walk in with such excitement was honestly one of my favorite parts.
Oh my gosh, look, it's the first person to PatternCon!
The day kicked off with a welcome from Trisha and Caitlin.
Hello, everybody! Welcome to PatternCon!
It was surreal to finally see PatternCon come to life after months of hearing about it online. And right off the bat, people were already winning prizes. They were generating like a random number generator to pick a number that corresponded to a person at the event. And what I appreciated was, although we were volunteers, we equally had a chance to win prizes as well. Then one of the keynote speakers that we got to hear from was Mimi G. She joined virtually because she was feeling under the weather, unfortunately, but you know, we got to hear her story virtually. She shared some business insights and tips, and I really enjoyed that part. After that, we split into our classes. So with PatternCon, it's not just a convention where you're listening to speakers and you're in this ballroom the whole time. there are classes that you can learn from with some pretty reputable names in the sewing community, like Trisha Camacho. She taught some classes. There were other educators like Jasmine Chandler, Stephanie Canada, Nikki Griffin, Jennifer Stern. That was a big part of what PatternCon was, is the learning aspect of it. So for session 1, my first class pick was origami pattern making with Trisha Camacho. And I decided to take that class because although I went to school for fashion design, I learned how to pattern draft like on flat paper, and I learned draping techniques and getting your pattern from that. However, I have never done 3D pattern making before, so I thought it would be cool to learn something like that, which is totally brand new to me. And it was a 2-hour class, and in that 2 hours, the amount of stuff that we learned, oh my gosh, like just Trisha is just a wealth of knowledge. That woman, she knows everything about pattern making, and it was just incredible. The things that we learned in that class, there were so many things that you could bring to life that I did not even imagine that you can do with 3D pattern making. We even had time to practice the techniques on our own with the tools that we brought with us or with the kit that you purchased, which I'll explain about later. But it was fun. Like, I was surprised that I learned so much in just such a short amount of time. And if you wanted to dive deeper into origami pattern making, Trisha did show us some books and stuff that you could learn from makers who specialize in that kind of thing. I met so many talented sewists and pattern makers at this event, and in this class specifically, there was one make that I was pretty fascinated by. It was by Brooks Ann. I'll see if I could find her Instagram and link it below as well.
Yep, my custom sloper that fits me, and then I drafted the pattern, which I can actually show you.
Sure. Oopsie, sorry.
So that's what the pattern for this dress looks like. So it's got pockets, pocket bags.
We love pockets. After class, there was a bit of time to explore, check out the fabric swap table, grab some food, and just take in the energy. The whole day felt like one big celebration of creativity. We split for classes again for session 2, and I took digital pattern making with Jasmine Chandler. This was such a great class. Like, Jasmine is a great educator, I have to say, because she doesn't just say, oh, do this, do that, and like step 1, do this, and whatever. She actually explains why you're doing what you're doing, which is important to me when I'm learning something. I don't remember how long the class was. I think it was a 2-hour class, but I had my laptop and Adobe Illustrator already, and she packed in a whole bunch of knowledge into that short period of time. Luckily, she did have a course that you could sign up for where she would teach digital pattern making live on Zoom, and I did sign up and purchase that course, and that was incredible too. Like, I really admire her as an educator. Digital pattern making is something that I do want to get into. You know, it's not something that I learned in school. You know, I learned how to do pencil and paper pattern making, so nothing digital. So I'm very grateful that I got to learn how to do that with Jasmine. I didn't get any footage of this, but we had a meeting after day 1 of PatternCon with all the volunteers to reflect on the day, how it went, all that, any suggestions, that kind of thing, and then just run over the itinerary for tomorrow. After that, I had to go to this restaurant that was on my itinerary that was recommended to me by Trisha. It was called Mertz. Ready to stuff my face. It was like a soul food barbecue type restaurant, and it was really good. I went there with a couple of other PatternCon attendees, and it was just such a fun night. We got to connect and like get to know each other better. I really enjoyed that night, and that's the night that I got to know my friend Lindsay a little bit better. Getting ready for day 2 of PatternCon. I'll just put on my shoes. Okay, I just finished getting ready for day 2 of PatternCon. This is the fit for today. Fabric was sponsored by Jagji Textile again, so it's a nice little groovy romper. And real quick, I just have to put on my volunteer shirt on top of it, which is fine because it's gonna cover up all the mistakes that I made on this. I forgot I had this belt too to go with it. Hang on. Yes, I'm putting a belt because I'm a millennial. It's supposed to sit here, like that. Oh dear. Okay, I'll fix that. And then we got my PatternCon volunteer shirt here. Okay, so now I'm ready to head down. I gotta hurry because I didn't wake up early enough. I gotta put my lanyard on too. Okay, now I gotta go. We had another round of great talks and giveaways.
All right, last but not least, winner of 1 year subscription, Great Magazine, is number 202. Number 202. It's the newest 59-year-old Roberta Brown.
And the speakers that day were incredible. Aronica B. Cole spoke about confidence and creativity in such an empowering way. She had the attention of the entire room. You could hear a pin drop if you weren't laughing along to something funny that she said. I'm telling you, that woman just absolutely captivating. That woman can speak. I wish I could present in that way. Her presentation skills are chef's kiss. You know, her humor, she just grabs your attention, and it was just an incredible speech that she had, and just a lot of things to think about if you are planning to be an indie pattern maker, which I am. So I really enjoyed her speech. I wish I got it on film, but I didn't. But what a great speaker. Then Kenneth King gave a fascinating talk about why flat pattern making is better than draping, and he shared his interesting process on a coat that he designed and crafted. For the third session, I took Order of Construction with Trisha Camacho, and that's just because hand in hand with digital pattern making or pattern making in general, you want to be able to write out clear instructions to who's going to be purchasing the pattern. So I wanted to make sure like I got a good understanding of Order of Construction. That is something that I did learn in school. Ask me if I remember though. So I wanted to kind of get a refresher there. But again, Trisha's just a wealth of knowledge. I like with Trisha that there's no right or wrong, but it's like getting you to think in a certain way so that you know what the order of construction is based on, like whether you're like if you have a lining or if you have sleeves or whatever the case is, it gets your gears turning as to what should be coming up next. Eventually, all of us headed back to the ballroom. There was even a friendly challenge between the instructors, which had everyone laughing and cheering. It was super fun. Before we knew it, it was time for Trisha's closing remarks. You could feel how proud and emotional everyone was. It was truly like a community moment. It was beautiful. You can't help but feel so happy for Trisha and like making her wholesome dream come true. You know, the room was emotional and just you felt the sense of community and all the love in there. So that was my PatternCon 2025 experience. But before we wrap up, I'm just gonna go over some other things you might want to know that I might not have gotten footage of or that I might have forgotten to say in the video. I'm also going to show you what we got in our swag bags and some of the prizes that I even won. Apologies for the different setup, my mic started cutting in and out. One thing I also want to mention is that I am not sponsored by PatternCon at all. I am not pushed to promote their event in any type of way. I just really believe in what Trisha is doing, and I had a really great time at the event last year, so I'm just going over my experience with PatternCon. So here are some other points that I want to mention if you're considering going to PatternCon 2026. Purchasing tickets. Where I got my information was from the PatternCon Instagram. I also set up my emails to be emailed all the updates with PatternCon. PatternCon on Instagram is pattern.con, and you could also follow Trisha Camacho at creative.costume.academy. You could sign up for their emails so that way you get the most up-to-date information as well. So there are two types of tickets. One is a volunteer ticket and one is a regular attendee ticket. Both tickets cost the same price. It's just a matter of if you'd like to be a set of helping hands for the event organizers and spend a little bit of extra time with everybody, or if you'd just rather attend the event and leave it at that. For PatternCon 2025, they sold out in 2 minutes. With both tickets, you're able to experience the event without disruption. As a volunteer, I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. I was able to enjoy the event just like any regular attendee. And I was also able to win prizes just like a regular attendee. You're not taken away from the event in any capacity if you're a volunteer. And If you're an attendee, you just don't have to do the extra duties. I'm gonna go over the volunteering expectations. If you're thinking about being a volunteer, keep in mind the time that you're going to be at the event, especially if you're traveling. You may be expected to be at the event a day prior to the event and just a little bit, like a couple hours after the event as well. What was asked of us as volunteers was not that difficult at all. For PatternCon 2025, we were required to be there the night before, where we helped set up a few items like the swag bags, the snack bags, the lanyards, just a few housekeeping items. We were only there for a few hours, and then we were able to enjoy the evening, go for dinner, that kind of thing. The day of the event, we were only required to be in the room 30 minutes before the event actually started. And then there was a meeting at the end of the event on day one where we just kind of regrouped, talked about the itinerary for the next day, and just some housekeeping items as well. For day 2 of PatternCon, again, we were required to be at the event 30 minutes before, and we were required to be at the event once it was completed to break down any displays. We had to carry some dress forms into the truck, so keep that in mind. There is a little bit of lifting, but it's not heavy for me. Just help clean up and pack away. It actually went by really quickly because there were so many helping hands. And for PatternCon 2026, they advised on their Instagram live that there are going to be more volunteer tickets, so there's going to be even more of us to help out with the event. During the event, we did have to help out just a little bit with handing out giveaways and prizes. Being a volunteer at PatternCon did not take away my experience at all. I was able to enjoy the event just like everyone else, and I was able to win prizes just like everyone else. Let's talk about hotel and accommodations. PatternCon 2025 was hosted at the Sheraton in Charlotte, North Carolina. The organizers were very mindful to make sure that the hotel event was in close proximity to the airport for people who were traveling in for the event. The organizers also had a special rate for PatternCon attendees to stay at the Sheraton if they chose to. I decided to stay at the Sheraton because I thought it would be easier in terms of getting to the event. I just have to go from upstairs to downstairs to the event to enjoy it. If I forgot something or wanted to leave some stuff in my room, it was very convenient. With the accommodations, the hotel also provided a free shuttle from the airport to the hotel. Lunch was provided during the 2-day event. It was buffet style, and you were able to go back and get seconds if you needed to. The organizers of the event were very mindful and had some gluten-free options for those who required it. During their Instagram live, they mentioned that there's going to be a Starbucks on site for PatternCon 2026. So if you need your coffee fix, you're gonna get it. Let's talk about the classes. So for PatternCon 2025, I believe there were over 35 classes that you could choose from. There were 3 class sessions. One was held on PatternCon Day 1, and the other 2 sessions were held on PatternCon Day 2. Months before the event, we were able to see the list of classes being offered and choose the ones that we were most interested in for each session, and then they would allocate us to the class. I'm pretty sure 99, if not 100% of people got the classes that they wanted the most. For PatternCon 2026, they did mention in the Instagram live that the class selection is going to be on a first come, first serve basis. They have been batch releasing information over time, so I'm sure when it comes to class selection, we'll get emailed all the details on how that's going to work. Let's talk about the equipment that you should bring. The equipment that you'll need to bring would vary based on what classes you decided to take. Each class has a description on what the class is all about, and at the bottom there was a list of what equipment that you might need to bring. Because it is a pattern making event, the equipment required was things like a curved ruler, see-through ruler, pencils, erasers, a pinwheel, that kind of thing. I brought all my equipment with me in just a reusable bag, but there are kits provided that you could pre-purchase and pick up at the very beginning of the PatternCon event. For the digital pattern making class that I took, it was recommended to bring a laptop that has Adobe Illustrator on it, so that way you could follow along while she is teaching the class, but it wasn't required to bring. In addition to the kits that you could purchase before the event, there were also 2 t-shirt designs that you could purchase as well. One that said, "It's all about the dart," and the other saying, "I'm the boss," which I liked. For the most part, we were seated in the ballroom, and you have your bags and stuff with you. I did see somebody who had like a tiny rolling suitcase thing that you could put like a laptop in and put your equipment in. I think I might do that next year because that would just be easier to carry around to the other rooms for classes. So another cool thing is that there was a fabric swap table at the event. So if you have any fabric or tools or patterns that you're not going to be using in your sewing studio, you could bring those to PatternCon and leave them at the fabric swap table. You might see something else on the table that you're a little bit more interested in. So if you leave an item, you can take an item. There were notions, there were patterns, fabric, there were some cute knickknacks and all that kind of thing. So you might find something that you like. I don't know about you, but I do tend to pack a little bit heavy. I did bring a personal item, a carry-on suitcase, and a checked luggage. I'm very glad that I did this though. So with my personal item and my carry-on, I just had the outfits that I was gonna wear to PatternCon. I had all my pattern making tools. I had my, my bathroom stuff, my hair stuff, my face care stuff, and I had my camera equipment and my laptop and that kind of thing in my carry-on and my personal item. The checked luggage that I brought, I didn't have that many items in there. I think I just brought some fabric that I wanted to get rid of for the fabric swap table, and I left a lot of room in there, which is great because I ended up coming home with quite a few things. So I recommend making sure that you have a little bit of extra room in your suitcase because there were things that you could take home, like the swag bags, the snack bags, that kind of thing. You are gonna be going home with something. There were so many giveaways and you might be winning a giveaway, so just make sure you have room in your suitcase to take it home. You might see something on the fabric swap table that you might want to take home that maybe you weren't expecting. Maybe you have more willpower than I do and you don't bring anything additional home. That's up to you. But there were also vendors that you could purchase things from. Like you could purchase books, patterns. I think there was someone selling some pieces that they made. The vendor that I purchased from was able to take credit card. I'm not sure if all the vendors took card, but just keep in mind, bring some cash or card in case you want to make some purchases. Okay, so who can go to PatternCon? Everyone. You do not have to be an expert by any means in any area. You do not have to know a thing about pattern making to be able to go to PatternCon. You could be very intermediate and you can still get something out of PatternCon. The event organizers were very, very mindful of making it an all-inclusive space where everyone is welcome. Whether you had a special need or some dietary restrictions, they were very mindful to accommodate that. It's an event for everyone. So another thing I just want to touch on is that this is a pattern making event. It is more geared toward pattern making, fitting, hacking patterns, that kind of thing. So you will not be required to bring a sewing machine or anything like that. There's no like sewing machine station set up. You're not going to really be sewing anything during this event. But keep in mind, pattern making, fitting, it goes hand in hand with sewing. Like how awful is it when you sew something up and it just doesn't fit, right? So it is for anyone who's in the sewing community space. So I think I touched on everything that you might need to know for PatternCon 2026. Of course, they're going to be sending out updates and everything. If you sign up for the email list, you'll get everything that you need to know from the PatternCon organizers. Let me know if you were at PatternCon 2025 and if there's any tips or anything that you have for attendees for PatternCon 2026. Okay, let's get into this swag bag. All right, so this is one of the bags that we received at PatternCon. You see it has the PatternCon logo at the front and the PatternCon colors. So in here, I have another bag as well. And this one has the Pattern Place logo on it. In this bag, there were snacks. I forgot to mention there were snacks provided, and this bag was full of snacks and water and Crystal Light and Nutri-Grain bars and all the things, so that way you had snacks when you were going to your classes in case you were hungry before or after lunch. Okay, so it looks like I have my volunteer shirt in my bag actually. So this is the volunteer shirt that we were provided to wear during the event, so that way you could identify a volunteer in case you needed assistance with anything. So on the front, you see it says nerd, and there's a safety pin, an ode to Trisha. As well, on the sleeve, there is PC 2025. And on the back, it says Pattern Nerd Friend. How cute is that? I can't wait to see what the shirts look like next year. Okay, moving on, the lanyards that we were provided. So my lanyard has 2 little ribbons on the bottom. It has VIP, and it says that because I was a volunteer at the event. So all the volunteers had VIP listed on their lanyard. And then the second ribbon says first time attendee. Anyone who does go to the event next year who was at PatternCon 2025, theirs is gonna say second time attendee. So that's kind of cute. The information that's on the lanyard is just your name, your Instagram handle if you wanted to include that, and who sponsored the event. Okay, next in the bag is this pamphlet here. So this was left at all the tables, so that way you know what the itinerary for the day was. Okay, so when you open it up, the first page has the story behind PatternCon, which you could read through, and then the second page has the itinerary for Saturday and for Sunday. The next page shows the breakout sessions, so it showed what classes and where they were. If you knew that you're in the draping class, you just try to find it on the breakout session list here. It tells you where it is, what time it's at, and how long the class is. There was a page shouting out all the VIP volunteers here, so that was nice. My name is right there. And on the last page, just a thank you to the sponsors of PatternCon. On the back of this, there was a map to the hotel so that you have a better idea of where you're headed. Okay, so some swag that was in the bag is this little kit here from Porcelain. It's supplies, education, and design. All right, so in here, there were some notions to do with lingerie making, some applique, some bra hooks. There's a little booklet about Porcelain and their specialty supplies that they offer. Guide to bra making supplies, a 30-day free trial offer for poly pattern. And then there were some other card slip-ins, one talking about their resort wear sewing cruise and some patterns that were being offered on their website. All right, so here we have a Ditto dress form card. Looks like I have 2 in here. I don't know how I got 2. But Ditto dress form was at PatternCon 2025, and she was explaining about how Ditto dress form works, so you could just get her information on this card. Okay, so we have some other cards and stuff here. There was a little paper here regarding the pattern place and if you wanted to join. I believe they open up spots twice a year, but there was a little sheet provided here to get on the wait list for pattern place. There was this zenofsewing.com ruler that was provided. That's kind of neat. It has like the measurements here. I don't know if you can see that, but that was cute. It's a hard cardstock material. We got some stickers. I liked this one. This one was in the swag bag. It says, "A lady never discusses the size of her fabric stash." Seems like they're talking to me. Zen of Sewing also provided this little sheet that has a exclusive free pattern that we can get. There were other sheets here just highlighting some other fabric stores or fabric shops online that you could visit. One being Village Fabric Shop. They also offered a 20% discount for your entire purchase with this card that was in the swag bag. We have one here with StitchLoveStudio.com. As well, there was a sheet offered for PDF plotting, which is fast and affordable pattern printing. They also offered a discount if you were at PatternCon. Some other things that were in the swag bag or handed to us as freebies was this pencil here. So it's Charlotte Sewing Club, good for drafting. And we got this little pin that says PatternCon 2025 on it. I'm going to show you up close because this is cute. Definitely gonna add that to my lanyard next year. And there was this compact here, which was offered by Ditto Dress Form. It's a compact mirror. And it's got a rose design on it. Another freebie that we all got, the whole entire room got, was a Threads magazine. This is my first Threads magazine actually, but it looks like there's a lot of cool information in here. So that was everything that was in the PatternCon 2025 swag bag. Just some cool little knickknacks, some discounts and stuff from some of the sponsors. So that was really nice. So another thing to show you is this is a little gift from Trisha to all the volunteers, just saying thank you for volunteering with the event. On the front, we have a little sticker on this box and it says, thank you for helping to make the inaugural PatternCon a reality. So that was sweet. And inside were some goodies. So there was this little card here. Looks like you could fill it out and send to somebody. As well, a cup that had a reusable straw that you could use with it. This smells so fresh right now. If you know me, I love fresh scents. Like if you've met me before, I tend to reek of baby powder. It's my favorite scent. I love smelling like it. It's what I bathe in. It's what I lotion with. I love the smell of baby powder. So I love the scents that are coming out of here. They're super fresh. There's a bath bomb. We got some bath salts. A little bar of soap and fragrant coconut. So inside here, oh, that smells like vacation. It's a candle and it smells like coconut. And it says on it, enjoy the good life, coconut candle. You are the most precious. So that was sweet of her to gift us something. So thank you, Trisha, for gifting this to us. And this is why you need extra room in your suitcase. You never know what you're gonna go home with. Like, we were not expecting this at all. Now I'm gonna show you, I did end up winning 2 prizes at PatternCon. I was not expecting to, but I'm very happy and grateful for the things that I did end up winning. So let me show you what they are. One of the items was from Kenneth D. King. It is a bag that you can put your drafting supplies in. So I'll show you the front here. And when you open it up, there is this long strap so that you can carry it long, but then there's also these short handles so you can carry it short. And inside there is this little flap here with this elastic where you could put some tools in here. There's a zipper pouch right here as well. Flip it over, more pouches to put stuff in as well. There's a pouch here that you could put some stuff in and a zipper on the back. Fully loaded. So funny thing about this prize is when they called my name for it, I actually wasn't even in the room. I was upstairs getting my suitcase to bring it back to the lobby because I had to check out. This almost got handed to somebody else because I wasn't in the room. They might have thought that I left PatternCon, because some people for the last day of PatternCon did end up leaving a little bit earlier due to flights or whatever the case. But I ended up making it back in the room on time. I said, I'm here. And luckily, I got to bring it home. This is the other freebie that I did end up getting. I am so happy I got to bring this home. I've been eyeing one of these for a very long time. This is how big the box is. So again, another suitcase was necessary. I'm gonna open it up and reveal to you what we have. So it is a half-scale dress form. And it's got a stand and everything in the box as well. So this was actually the centerpiece that was at PatternCon. It had a nice dress draped over it, and it on all the tables had this centerpiece. Basically, there was a game where whoever's sitting at the table could win the centerpiece, and I ended up winning one. So I'm very happy I was able to bring this home. That's it for the free swag and the giveaways that I got. I did make one purchase with one of the vendors, and it is this Bare Essentials Bras Construction and Pattern Drafting for Lingerie Design. This is the book here. It's very thick. But yeah, I purchased this because although I did take lingerie class when I was in school, we didn't get a textbook that went along with the class. So I don't have any textbooks in regards to lingerie. So I just wanted to add that to my collection, and I was able to purchase it with one of the vendors and take it home. I did mention that I did leave some fabric behind, and I did come back with 2 fabrics. I'm not gonna reveal them because I tend to like to reveal my makes as a surprise. But I did swap out some fabric that I brought, and I left a lot of fabric behind too and didn't take something off of the table. I needed to get rid of that stuff. But I took away 2 fabrics from that fabric swap table, and then we got all the goodies here that I did just show you. So that's everything that I came home with from PatternCon. Overall, the organizers and the sponsors put so much thought into making this event special. Between the classes, the community, and just how inspired I felt afterward, it was 100% worth the trip. Another highlight for me was the friendships. I met so many amazing sewists, and honestly, it was so fun. We connected, we laughed, and we shared some good memories. If you ever thought about going to PatternCon, do it. Whether you go to learn, to connect, or to be surrounded by people who get your love for sewing, it is such a fulfilling experience. I'll be sharing another video down the line. It's going to be part of a series, but it is from this trip, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and I hope this gave you a glimpse into what the first ever PatternCon was like, and maybe a little push to join us next year. Take care.